My guest today is environmental spokeswoman and owner of the Green Pages, Katie Patrick.
G'day.
Welcome to our program.
Thank
G'day. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your business. What does the Green Pages do?
Well, Green Pages is an online community for green people to share news, events, jobs, competitions, pretty much anything that they're doing in the green space. It's also a directory of green businesses, and it's a platform for NGOs to share all of their content and their campaigns to the green community.
Tell me, what does it mean? What's a green company? How do you fit within that criteria?
We go by a model where we assume that the most green 10% of any industry sector is green enough for Green Pages. I mean, being green is a very subjective thing. What's green to one person might not be green to another. But we go off this kind of look at who's the greenest in each industry sector. So it means that Green Pages can cover every single industry and give everyone a green choice within that framework.
As far as your business model, you've changed it since you started the business. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, I originally wanted to start a publishing company. I wanted to publish books and magazines, and I thought they were beautiful and fun. And we did publish about 15, really good quality publications over the time. But over the last couple of years, I just saw the digital space just expanding so much, and my passion really moved away from print and into digital. So we've become a completely digital business now.
There's a couple of things that impacted the business. One is going to that digital. You actually decrease the number of people on your team. Is that right?
Yeah, well, when you've got a skill set that's largely a print-based skill set, the staff are good at doing that particular job and running. We're a technology business now, so the only people we employ now are software developers. So we've had to, completely re-gear our business model to become a technology business, and all of those previous staff didn't have relevant experience anymore. So we really had to sort of clear everything out and really sort of start over again.
And redesign the business. You mentioned in an interview that the first time you saw the iPad, you knew you would never do another print publication. What did you see, other than a beautiful piece of equipment, what did you see when you saw that?
Well, it was a part of a San Francisco trip that I did about a year ago. I'd always known that my heart was in developing this digital community, but we still had quite an extensive print business. And I went to the Twitter conference and the Facebook conference and an ad tech conference over there and met some VC funds. Also, it was the same weekend that the iPad came out. And I just saw this vibrant community and this iPad, and I was just flicking through it thinking, why would I ever do something as archaic as print something when there's this really exciting new technology movement? And this iPad is sort of just the beginning of people becoming, having technology much more embedded in their day-to-day life. It's not just about that it's a nice way to present magazines, it's that it is something that we use when we wake up, when in our lunch breaks. It sort of becomes an extension of ourselves.
Going to a digital format for your business, one of the things that you've integrated well, I feel, is social technologies and social media. Tell us a little bit how you've used those technologies to build a community.
Well, Facebook's a big part of it. I check Facebook every 30 minutes. We post all of our stories on Facebook. We make sure that the stories all have, tweet and share and like buttons. And Facebook has a number of developer applications if you look through it, the way that you can integrate. Another way is a login. So people are now starting to be able to log in with their Twitter accounts, their LinkedIn accounts, their Facebook accounts. And that's really easy to implement, if you do have a membership type model. But just, being sort of on top of it. I mean, business is becoming more social. We've seen Facebook become social. Any way that a business can include people's sort of, personal opinions and personal comments within their digital framework is kind of the way things are going, and it makes it much more engaging. So, I mean, we're just at the beginning, but hopefully we can, just keep on expanding on that.
What opportunities do you see that small businesses who are not using the digital space, who are not online, are missing out on?
Well, I think what's happening now is that you've seen, say, companies like eBay and Apple have solved particular problems, like eBay and Amazon have solved the retail problem. Apple has solved the music problem. What we're seeing now is the sense of identity coming out. So if you think about, you have your digital identity on Facebook or Twitter or on your own website, think of a business as having a digital identity. And almost your digital identity is more important than what you even really do as a business, because that's what people see about you. So I think as a company, you need to think of your digital reincarnation of who you really are, and then behind that comes the essence of what your business model is. So that goes, you know, making sure you've got a Facebook page, a Twitter page. There's really simple frameworks you can do to set up websites. Take you a couple of days, you know, and it's free. They don't need to be expensive. It doesn't need to be hard. Take a bit of time to learn, you know, basic HTML and what, you know, SEO is all about. Because it is becoming more important than actually what you do, if that makes sense.
So what people see when they look for and find your business is more important than even what you do?
I think that the digital presentation of it. Because when you've got digital presentation, it's not just what your website looks like, it's who's commenting and reviewing it.
If anybody. If you have
if
that
they
functionality.
are. Yeah, if they are, not on your own website, but on other websites. I mean, Yelp is a reviewing site, so how people are rating you, you know, it's sort of like, you know, you've got credit rating with, you know, financial institutions. I mean, what is your reputational rating in terms of what people are posting on your Facebook page and on your, you know, if you, whatever comments that you have there, and that's sort of becoming the great currency of reputation now, rather than sort of, oh, I've got a flash website or a nice business card.
They're great questions for people listening to ask themselves. As a young businesswoman, you started business, you know, quite young. For other women who are perhaps just out of school, just finished perhaps doing tertiary studies, looking to start a business, what would be your advice to them?
Only do it if you're really, really passionate about it. I mean, it's a hard road for anyone. It's been really personally hard on me, but exhilarating at the same time. I think you should only go into business if it really is like your God's calling for what you should be doing in life. I wouldn't want anyone to go through what you go through if you weren't deeply moved by what you do. And you have to be really compassionate and really generous and put yourself last a lot. If you're the sort of person that can really, you know, look at your team of people and your clients and always put them first. That's a really important part of gaining trust. And then all the normal stuff, you know, like making sure your tax is filed on time, doing bookkeeping, but you learn all that along, you know, along the road. I mean, I think having what's inside is really where it all starts.
Tell me, if there was one key focus for the Green Pages of what you would like to see this business become, what would that be?
To become like a global sharing platform for all the millions of people around the world that are trying to save the planet, you know, for them to post, share, connect with each other, you know, for people to meet that special person that will make their idea bloom, you know, and to get people to start buying green products. You know, I've always believed that we can save the planet if we start buying green products and stop buying non-green products. And that's a really sort of core belief system that sort of carried me through with this whole journey.
Thank you so much for the work that you're doing and for joining us.
Thank you.